evening, everyone. I am Srimoy Sengupta, and I'm a part of the team at Great Place to Work Institute India. We hope that you and your family members are safe and healthy at home. We at Great Place to Work welcome you to the year's most awaited awards, India's Great Mid-Size Workplaces 2020. However, before we begin the awards evening, we'd like to express our heartfelt gratitude to the people who are the reason that we've been able to join this evening's event from the comfort of our homes. Great Place to Work Institute India is very grateful to our COVID warriors.
As our COVID warriors fight on the front lines, it's time we come together and put our best foot forward, because all of us are better together.
If you were among the many who chose to help by staying at home and following all norms, thank you for being a responsible citizen. I'd now like to take a few moments to talk about what makes this evening so special. This year, Great Place to Work Institute India witnessed a participation from 869 organizations from across 21 industries, representing the voice of over 21 lakh employees. Finally, only the top 50 mid-size organizations made it to this evening's awards, after a rigorous assessment. Great Place to Work Institute India, in association with BW Business World, is proud to honor and celebrate the achievements of the top 50 great mid-size workplaces of this country. We're delighted to have with us this evening Mr. Ramashankar Pandey, Managing Director of Hella India Lighting Limited. Mr. Pandey loves setting new heights for leadership, adventure, and enthusiasm, as can be witnessed by the multiple other roles that he plays. Be it on the Road Safety Subcommittee at FICCI, Governing Council member in the Automotive Skills Development Council, or as the founder trustee of the national non-profit organization Prayas. May I now invite Mr. Prasenjit Bhattacharya, CEO, Great Place to Work Institute India, for an interaction with Mr. Pandey.
So, Rama, welcome and thank you so much for giving us time at short notice. And I know the last few months have been probably a very new experience for almost all of us, including someone like you who has had so many challenges, right from your engineering days to the leadership that you have today in your company, in industry associations. Can you tell us, as you go back in hindsight, of course, is always 2020, what are the things that you did proactively? And with hindsight, what are the things you think you should have done differently? Tell us your story.
Yeah, I think immediately what we did was great was at ACMA, because I tell you, ACMA is a very strong association, Component Manufacturer Association, more than 800 members there, and a lot of SMEs. I think 60% plus with the new definition will be small and medium enterprises at ACMA. I'm very happy. All leaders came together and we took few decisions immediately. One of that was we knew that the credit crunch will happen. Credit will be a question mark. So immediately we sent out a letter to all OEMs telling that how they need to support SMEs and the component manufacturer at this point of time, because they will have access to funds. So look at that way. So immediately we shoot out this letter from the President ACMA. The second thing we did immediately, all the members, we did a survey who wants to pay and give confidence to the blue collar that nothing is going to happen to them. And can you pay in advance a little bit? Because it was 16th March when we all started.
That's right.
And somewhere 22nd, when the announcement all done. So what we did immediately before even lockdown, we were thinking how to support our migrant workers and the blue collars and software workers. So to your good satisfaction, most of the members at ACMA paid in advance in that month to the blue collar, because it was not a problem of how long you pay. It was losing trust. The moment these blue collar workers lose trust, they will start going back. And this was our fear. In fact, that happened. But you have to also understand there is a large number of labor which is in unorganized sector. I'm sure the organized sector took care of it. So what went good was this confidence to the soft floor workers from all of us. Even as HELA, we did that. We paid in advance. We immediately communicated to them. What did not go well? I think as a group, we are not a very good PR kind of people. So we did not went on a mass communication to tell every migrant labor and workforce that you will be taken care. I think fortunately for HELA, it was great because we not only did, it was in our own circle of influence. So we not only supported them, we also started engagement program. We had family get-togethers digitally. I was personally with every blue collar, every software worker. We had their hobbies displayed. We had talent hunt programs. You'll see on our Facebook and all, our families were dancing together. We had creative poems and kitchen garden competitions there. So I think I never saw that much close to my software worker before what I saw in these days. So I think these things as a company, we did great. But as an industry, we did great by this collection management, working capital management, and then giving signal to the blue collar worker by paying them in advance and taking care of them. But what we did not do well, definitely, is that intensity of communication to build that trust.
And it is interesting that crisis like this is, in a sense, a great opportunity to build strong foundation of trust. Because people will not forget what happened during this time for a very long time. And you are using that in your own organization, in HELA. So tell us a little bit more. There are 3 dimensions to this. So there is a business continuity dimension, and and sometimes leaders focus only on business continuity and not enough on people. But there is a second important dimension, maybe even more important, that how can people remain focused and how can you win their trust so that your business continues only if they are with you. And number 3, in the short term, there are liquidity and cash flow issues and supply chain disruptions. So how did you deal with this? In your mind, did you have a blueprint, or was this emerging as you went, and what happened?
So of course, nobody planned for it. Nobody knew this is unprecedented what happened. But I guess this also comes from culture, because I tell you, whatever crisis happened external, there's no guarantee COVID-20 will not happen when COVID-19 is going to get over, or COVID-21 will not happen. You don't know. So yeah. I think what you should always figure out, which we figure out, what is your internal strength? So depending on organization to organization, culture varies. For us, there is a culture which we built long back. We call it trust and challenge. You might have heard many times about it. We inbuilt since 2010. It was like even to the level of family, we started practicing that. We said when two people have to work together, there has to be a background of trust, unquestioned trust. At the same time, we must challenge so that the high performance culture comes. So this trust and challenge is our kind of a logo or whatever you call in the internal organization. Now we came back to our culture, and culture gave us the strength. This is the time when the disruption caused by Corona for Hella India Lighting, the single biggest factor I'll contribute was our culture, which brought us together instantly. I don't think we had a second thought. We did not have a blueprint also. So immediately all of us came on WhatsApp group. We immediately announced a task force where we have people, every 10 employees, we had like a commander or a leader. And then we all wanted to check with everybody. So twice we used to call everybody with these leaders and volunteers. And then came the ideas, how do we engage further and further and further? This was the time that I took not only our soft floor worker, but also our mechanics, which is not our employees. But they were losing hope. The technician on the street, the roadside garages, because we have a large aftermarket business. The drivers, sometimes when I got them on Zoom, they were in their lungis and they were never having experience. They just clicked on the link on Zoom and they came, even the sound was not coming. And our volunteers were trying to train them. I tell you, I never saw, this was a digital push which nobody could have imagined. That a person in a Ambattur or in Jhumri Tilaiya or I don't know from where, I had people coming in. I had 500, 600 people interaction every day. With a small company, for me, it was overwhelming. I was working 17, 18 hours, which actually continues even today, even till today. So what we could do was not something coming out of our smart brain. It just came from culture, because we practice something called you are, therefore I am, which always says that my existence depends on you. Now, Corona has proved that we are safe only when the last guy on this planet is safe, And the biggest thing we could do immediately is the sense of security, sense of hope. To the extent we went to sense of celebration, We started the kids coming together, my kids, my wife, all of us danced together with these people. And we actually unlocked many things. We really did not worry about security problems and, hierarchy issues, nothing. As such, the culture was like that. It went to next level. I don't think we are going to go back on that now. It's irreversible.
COVID gave us an opportunity, A, to come together. There was a common crisis. B, we were forced to move to digital. So therefore, barriers were broken. The moment it is digital, you can include almost anyone. So therefore, the hierarchy was broken. And you took full advantage of that. Your organization now is not just you and your employees, but includes their families. So therefore, the unit is the family. How did you deal with exactly what you are about to talk about, which is working capital, supply chain, demand disruption, and is that, did you have a lot of reserves and therefore you didn't have to worry, or you actually had a problem?
So to tell you very frankly, this kind of crisis, whatever reserve you have, because businesses are run by working capital, which is always having a mathematics. So if the first time ever, zero revenue, have you seen? Have I seen? No. Many seniors did not see it, that you have months with zero revenue. And of course, you must take care of the company. You have all the cost or fixed cost. So it did end up with a disruption on working capital. Fortunately, like you said, that we always said in Hella India Lighting, we have three things. We are family, we are celebration, and we are the change what we want to see in the society, including the skilling activity, including the road safety activity. So what we saw immediately, that if we are not supporting our suppliers, our tier 2 and tier 3, they will give up. And when we got them on board, and the biggest worry on their head was this uncertainty of credit. So it's not only Hella is not alone. Hella has got an ecosystem. So it's employees, it's suppliers, and these needs fund from us. And we have to live to our family culture. So what we did is we converted ourselves around, I think, 30 of us out of the complete employee base. 30 of us, we made a war room. And personally, I was leading that war room around 7 o'clock every day in the evening. After the bank hour is over, We became like a mobile company or a banking company. Every 1,000, 20,000, 30,000 rupees. Can you imagine a company like us where after 10,000, 20,000 rupees collection, we understood working capital management and a collection management is about follow-up. We understood this. And we also knew the market is closed. So when market is closed, nobody is going to pay. And we have many customers. We have large OEM customer, and then we have the small distributor and dealer. Now, the first thing every dealer distributor does is they also have to do the same working capital management. So they will not pay us. Now, how do we handle? That is where we organize the first training for all of them called Finance for Non-Financial People. We give them the pride that how money is made by them. You know, in this country, people don't understand where the money is made. People feel banks are making money, government is making money. Actually, entrepreneurs make money. The biggest risk of this country is taken care by entrepreneurs, not large public enterprises. Now, this pride we infuse in all our dealer, distributor, and small enterprises. We told you are the guys who are actually running the country. So you must know how to get this crisis over, how to get the finances done. So we talked to our bank and we started educating financial literacy. We found them weak, really weak. They did not approach the bank when they know that this can last long. And we hand-holded them to go to the bank. We told, because with bank our relationship was good. Our CFO took the direct class. Me and him actually paired up. And I was giving them a little bit on the purpose, and CFO was getting directly into working capital with the ratios, how the turnover ratios were moving. I think it did miracle. Can you imagine that we started getting collection from smallest of the small guys from wherever they can? We told them that let's not choke the cycle, because once the cycle is choked, they will be in that trap. They will not come back. And they understood. Even when they had zero collection from market, they were able to do.
So this is real leadership, because this requires people to trust you. And what you were saying is so positive. What you were saying is even in the worst crisis, people can come together and look at the greater good. What do you see as some of the mistakes that leaders make during times of crisis?
I think with respect to the SMEs specifically,
Yes.
You know, the feeling that I'm small and I'll be hit hard, I think as an information it is fine. But getting so much scared that you lose hope and you get into heavy cost cutting, as if tomorrow I will not exist. This mindset I saw in some leaders. And this is really poison. The moment you get defeated inside your mind, you are already finished. Because your internal immunity is everything. Business is like a human body. Your internal immunity is everything. The moment you get into that depressive, as a business, you start taking those decisions. So things like not appearing in front of employees, going away, not talking to them, not being together, just getting HR handle the HR topics. I think those were some of the wrong things which some of the leaders did, including my own company. Some of the department head could have gone in that direction, but we brought them back. This was not the time not to pay them and to tell them to take a salary cut. This was the time to let them come back and say, and I know many of my suppliers because I was with them and we had a lot of these Zoom calls. Few of them got, food supplied to their houses, to the laborers. And you know what the laborers did? Laborers came up with great idea how they can convert that company into a mask making company, how they can convert that company into a sanitizer making company. This was done by blue collar, soft floor workers because they became together. Even if you're in deep debt, no problem. I was telling many of my guys, even if you come in deep debt at this time is no problem. But if your debt goes to your trust bank, your trust account is in debt, you are finished because people will remember this time. And many people went, to their native place. I don't think they will come back to the same company because they saw how it was handled.
What do you think leaders like you and others can do so that the potential of the manufacturing sector in India is realized at least partially?
So the biggest thing leaders like us should do and must do is to inspire people to respect skill. I always tell that in our manufacturing sector, there are two weak links and we must contribute to solve that. One is the skill robbery, I say. Why skill robbery? Because today an operator remains an operator for lifelong. Why? In my earlier company in Bosch, I saw one of the vice president coming from apprentice. I am myself an apprentice. I love having that dream that an apprentice can become a managing director and a CEO tomorrow. This aspiration has to come. This society, we are actually obsessed by the degree and designation society. Somebody meets me and somebody meets me after my card. He changes, because this is how we give respect to designation and visiting card. This has to change. In Germany, when you go, an operator, a diploma holder, a mechanic comes in Mercedes, he has a respect in the society. A driver gets such a high salary. I think this is the biggest thing. The second weak point is the professionalization of SMEs. SMEs still does not invest into management bandwidth, still does not invest into trust creation in employees. They are very transactional. Look at Germany. Germany, the economy is strengthened by small enterprises. All big technology has been invented by small enterprises. India can do it. We have Jugaad. We have Jugaad. Today, all SMEs are because of its owner has mind and talent. Why can't you respect others like you and make more of you carbon copy, and please invest into this people development? In fact, for business, one of the major goals should be, I always tell since 2010 my town hall, that there are two approaches of business we can take. One, which is for certain turnover and profit, you need people. The other way you can do is for people development, you need a project which is business. You see, the whole thing will change. And your employees will see the concern or the company not as business profit, they will see as their development place. They will see that as a college or university. And this change leaders can bring.
Absolutely. I think the key test is for if you are the owner of a small mid-sized company, I think the key question to you is who are the 10 people who are smarter than you in terms of product knowledge, in terms of expertise. If you can't think of 10 people, then clearly, you have not created a legacy, and that's not the right way of building the business. And I think the biggest takeaway that I'm going to leave our audience with is that a lot of leaders focus on one axis. There are leaders who are patriarchs who talk a lot about trust and care for employees, to the extent that sometimes it even becomes a relaxed and maybe not a very competitive culture. And there are people who build trust, but also build challenge. So therefore, if you can keep that combination of high trust caring for people with challenges which will inspire them to outperform, then you can call yourself a great place to work with sustained business results. Thank you so much, Rama. It's been a pleasure talking to you. This was brilliant.
Thanks, Prasenjit. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Pandey and Prasenjit, for such an engaging discussion with such significant takeaways. While we'd have loved to be together with all of you in person this evening, we thought we could make our virtual awards a little bit more interesting. And so we've got a few trivia questions planned for you. Let's see how well you know Great Place to Work. Our trivia questions this evening are powered by Ivumi, today's cutting-edge robot interview solutions. Through the evening, you'll see these multiple choice trivia questions pop up on your screen. Along with that, you'll see a box on the right-hand side of your screen where you can put in your answer. Remember, you will have 30 seconds to answer each of these questions. And don't worry, your answers come only to me, so it doesn't matter if you've got them right or wrong. Except when at the end of this evening, we announce our winners from these trivia questions. So all the very best, and let's move on to our first question of the evening.
In which year was the first India's Great Midsize Workplaces list published? Option A, 2015, Option B, 2013, Option C, 2010, and Option D, 2017. You have 5 seconds to complete answering this question. The correct answer is Option D, 2017. Congratulations to everyone who got that right.
Now, for the most awaited segment of our evening, the felicitation of India's Great Midsize Workplaces 2020. Without further ado, let's begin with our first set of awards for the evening.
Our first awardee for tonight, At rank 50, we have FireEye Cybersecurity Private Limited. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. Our next awardee for tonight at rank 49 is Gus Global Services India Private Limited. Congratulations! Our next awardee for tonight at rank 48 is Moria Group. Congratulations to the entire team. Next up at rank 47, we have ThinkPalm Technologies Private Limited. Please join me in congratulating the team. Our next winner at rank 46, we have Gainsight Software Private Limited. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. Moving on to rank 45, we have Vestige Marketing Private Limited. Congratulations to the entire team. Our next winner at rank 44, we have Boston Scientific India. Congratulations! Next up, at rank 43, we have Inorbit Malls India Private Limited. Please join me in congratulating their entire team. Our next winner at rank 42, we have MindTickle Interactive Media Private Limited. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. Moving on to rank 41, we have Guruvayur Infrastructure Private Limited. Congratulations to the team. Next up at rank 40, we have Hella India Lighting Limited. Please join me in congratulating the team. Our next winner at rank 39, give it up for Gillard Electronics Private Limited. Next up, at rank 38, we have Doyen Systems Private Limited. Please join me in congratulating the team. Our next winner at rank 37 is Hashton Technologies Private Limited. Congratulations to the entire team. At rank 36, we have Moria's IT Technologies Private Limited. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. At rank 35, we have F5 Networks Innovation Private Limited. Congratulations! Please join me in congratulating at rank 34, Creative Travel Private Limited. Our next awardee for tonight is Tavisca Solutions Private Limited at rank 33. Congratulations! At rank 32, we have Dorset Industries Private Limited. Please join me in congratulating their team. Our next winner at rank 31 is GoZoop Online Private Limited. Congratulations to the team. Please give it up for our next winner at rank 30, Forces Software India Private Limited. Congratulations. Moving on, at rank 29, we have IPUS Development Foundation. Congratulations to the entire team. Please join me in congratulating at rank 28, Field Fresh Foods Private Limited. Please give it up for our next winner. At rank 27, we have Equitas Development Initiatives Trust. Congratulations! Our next awardee for tonight, at rank 26, is Epic Solutions. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause.
Congratulations to our first set of winners. We're so humbled by your dedication to create such great workplaces. We're also honored to have with us this evening Mr. Moti Thadani, Head Research and Development at SAS Research and Development Private Limited. Mr. Thadani has more than 20 years of experience in the enterprise software industry, and among his many accomplishments, he's been awarded 4 US patents in the area of distributed computing. May I now invite Mr. Prasenjit Bhattacharya, CEO, Great Place to Work, for an interaction with Mr. Thadani.
So Moti, welcome and congratulations for being such a consistent, great workplace. And a lot of course, everyone has heard about SAS, and a lot of people do not know about what your part of the business actually do. And maybe a starting point would be to help us understand what is it that you are doing out of India.
So thank you, Prasenjit. At the outset, let me say that I'm a big fan of your work to promote great workplaces for all around the world.
Thank you.
So it's really a privilege to be sitting down with you here today for this conversation. Thank you for having me. Now you asked about, SaaS and what do we do over here in India, in Pune. So let me start by just telling you that we have a little bit of an unusual structure in the sense that SAS has 3 subsidiaries or entities in India, in Pune. And the entity that I work for, the entity that I manage, is called SAS Research and Development India Private Limited. And it is the development center, the technology center, if you will, for SAS in India. And we are not involved in any way in business development or sales. That's the function of our sister company, SAS Institute India. SAS Institute India has offices in Bombay, New Delhi, and Bangalore. And as to what is it that we do, we're really a microcosm of the SAS company today, apart from the sales function. We started off with a focus on R&D, building products for SAS in India. But over time, we've expanded to include professional services, technical support, technical writing. We have project managers, we have product managers, we have user experience designers. And because we are a subsidiary, we are an independent company, we also obviously have IT, corporate services, HR, and finance. So we function like a little micro version of the SAS company in the US. Most people know us as the leaders in business analytics.
Yes.
We started off, about 44 years ago. Dr. Goodnight, our founder, owner, was a professor at North Carolina State University, a professor of statistics. And with his vision, we're a company that takes statistical methods and applies them to business data to help businesses run better, to make better decisions, to be able to forecast better, to be able to make choices better. So that's sort of what we do.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about your Great Place to Work journey. And what is the source of this Great Place to Work journey? And why is it so important for you?
Dr. Goodnight started this company with the idea that it would be a different kind of company. And our resolve is to be a player in the infinite game. So the infinite game is a game where there's no fixed beginning, there's no fixed end. It's not that you reach a certain milestone and declare yourself the winner. It's a game where players can join the game at any time and rules can change. So in this context, what is important is not having the maximum tokens in a particular year or a particular point in time, but how can we sustain the organization? How can we make sure that we continue playing the game? We prioritize long-term sustainability over short-term gains. So we recognize that there's always room for improvement and getting better at playing the infinite game because it is forever changing. And being a great workplace is an essential success factor in the infinite game. A great workplace nurtures trust and cooperation, and these in turn foster innovation, which rejuvenates the organization. And that's part of being able to sustain ourselves in the infinite game. So as a result, we remain the leaders in business analytics, and we're confident in our vision to transform a world of data into a world of intelligence.
It's very interesting because in our research that we have been doing, what we have seen, a common feature among great workplaces that have been in our list over a long period of time is that they are highly sustainable business. You'd be surprised or maybe not surprised to know that majority of the companies that Jim Collins has featured in variety of his books built to last, good to great,
Yes.
are certified as great workplaces. And therefore, the culture that we are talking about, where you talked about trust and how it fosters innovation, that seems to have within it the seeds for playing that infinite game.
I agree with you entirely. Yes. Yeah.
And if you were to look at your journey of being a great place to work, and you have featured in our list of best workplaces consistently, and it's not that you were born a great place to work, because we have also seen the journey of evolution as a great place to work. So therefore, help us understand the India story, where you are such a integral part of that story. What did you do in India to make SAS India a great place to work? The research and development part.
Yeah, so you're very right. You know, we were not born a great place to work. Lovely sentence. I've got to remember that. And I think this is something that every organization that aspires to be a great workplace should hear. That being a great workplace is a journey. It is an effort as well. And you have to have that conviction that this is good for your business, that will allow you to make the journey and remain on that path. Now, what happened with us was that, you know, we are the child of a company that has been a great workplace ever since the great workplace lists came out. So, you know, we had that pedigree, and I think at some stage, we just assumed that we are a great workplace. So along the way, you know, we realized that we could only be a great workplace by making sure that everybody in the company was putting in the effort to make us a great workplace. And I think we got a lot of help, a lot of support from you and from people in your organization. And that certainly helped. But the biggest factor, I think, was taking people along, making sure they understood what we were trying to do here, that creating a great workplace is not an end in itself. It is something that enables our business success, you know, by creating trust in the organization, by demonstrating credibility, by engendering pride, by having that camaraderie. These are things that smooth the working of the organization and ultimately help us to be successful in building products, in making sure that we meet our customers' needs. And when people understood that this is what our end goal is, we worked very closely with our line managers, because our line managers are the folks who are closest to people and the closest to shaping the experience that our employees have. And they, I think, were the key in our transformation, in our success, in making us a great place to work. They work with our people and they make sure that they express the same emotions, the same thought, the same care that the entire company stands for with respect to our employees, and employees respect and reciprocate that. So I think that's really what took us to be a great place to work in India.
You know, it sounds simple when you hear it, but it's actually quite difficult. What's your own personal great place to work strategy? What's your mantra? What is it that you do with your direct reports and also with people that you come across in your maybe town halls and other interactions that helps you to steer a great place to work?
So coaching obviously, you know, works at all levels, and it's my responsibility to be a coach if I'm asking people to be coaches. But beyond that, I think communication is key, right? Communication, explaining the mission, explaining what we're trying to do, being clear about what our end goal is, and what is our path to getting there. We don't want to get there at any cost or by making compromises to our overall philosophy. So that, I think that communication is the second key, and that's something that I do quite a bit of in my role. So I would say complementing the coaching with communication is what I feel I do in my contribution to making SaaS a great place to work in India.
And the last question from my side is, what's your prediction for the future? What is going to change significantly? And the favorite buzz line, as they say, what will be the new normal?
Well, I don't know if I'm more of a traditionalist when I say this. I think, obviously we've done quite well in moving to the work from home model, and people have gravitated to it. People are comfortable with it. But a number of people also actually miss the physical water cooler conversations. So if I had to make a prediction, and I think it's a dicey time to be making predictions because there's so much that's unknown. But nevertheless, I think what I would say is that it's probably going to be a hybrid world. Yes. I don't think people are going to simply move to working from homes, or people have spoken about the gig economy where everybody is a freelancer. Somehow, especially when you're building enterprise software products, I think we do value the expertise that comes from long tenures. We value the bonding and the feeling of connectedness, which makes it possible to do innovation in our line of work. So again, I would say that I would predict more of a hybrid world where people do work from home, but they need that physical interaction, that connectedness that comes from being at the office for some period of time.
Thank you so much for the time you have invested, Moti. Such a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Prasenjit. I'm really honored to be able to have this conversation with you.
Thank you so much for your time, Prasenjit and Mr. Thadani. It's such a delightful experience to learn from you. We now move on to our next trivia question for this evening.
Of the total number of mid-sized workplaces that participated in the Great Place to Work assessment this year, what percentage were IT companies? Option A, 50%. Option B, 32%. Option C, 27%. And option D, 45%. You have another 5 seconds to finish answering this question. And the correct answer is option B, 32%. Congratulations if you got that one right.
Moving on to what many of you have been waiting for, our next set of winners. Let's hear it for ranks 25 to 11.
At rank 25 is Seva Rural. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause.
Namaste everyone, I am Dr. Preeti Bhandari, an Infosys fellow and working here since 2 years as a quality assurance medical officer. Why I think Seva Rural is a great place to work? Because I can see its mission being reflected in its various activities. Secondly, what I like is they are open to very recent and advanced technologies, and they would strive very hard to achieve it genuinely.
Namaste, myself Ajit, hailing from Kerala. Been working in Seva Rural a little less than a year. I've been interested in working in such a place because mainly of two reasons. One is the kind of importance that they give to development of employees, creating their own skills and abilities, making them a better version of themselves. The second is the kind of amalgamation of scientific work, evidence-based and grassroots level work in public health. For a person like me who has just started out a career in public health, I have actually found this place to be instrumental in developing key skills and abilities, being a better public health professional. So I guess all in all, it is a great experience to work here, and it is one of the best places to work right now.
Our next winner. At rank 24, we have Seedworks International Private Limited. Congratulations to the team.
Seedworks offer opportunities for everyone to foster and grow professionally and personally.
Seedworks International is the right place to learn and execute my thoughts and ideas.
It is a young organization with contemporary, innovative and entrepreneurial outlook.
Great place with a friendly environment and supportive team members.
Every employee is committed to make SWI a success.
The culture of Seedworks encourages transparency and to speak up for every employee to be heard.
There is a true sense of belonging, respect and involvement at each level.
I am getting the opportunity to work with some great mentors who has always been motivating and supportive.
Seedworks has high energy atmosphere, transparent culture, approachable leadership support coupled with learning opportunities.
Seedworks values each employee and the work environment is enriching. The organization encourages me to take risks and experiment with new ideas and thoughts.
Nimbleness and speed of decision making. Seedworks is fairly evaluating its employees.
Please give it up for our next winner. At rank 23, we have Little Millennium Education Private Limited. Congratulations! Our next winner is Z4 R&D Solutions at rank 22. Congratulations to the entire team. Our next awardee for tonight at rank 21 is JM Financial Home Loans Limited. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. Moving on to rank 20. Congratulations to Bacardi India Private Limited.
Change is the only constant, and working from home is the new normal. We Primos at Bacardi are fearless and resilient in the name of adversity, because that is the culture Bacardi imbibes in each one of us.
It's always been a great and fun place to work for, and during these challenging times, it has really shown how much they care for us by creating a supportive environment to make us feel safe, secure, and engaged.
Sharing of information in a timely and compassionate manner, various upskilling and engagement initiatives, IT infrastructure support, regular connects have really helped me to adapt to the new normal, and most importantly, being resilient.
Even during these trying times, the company not only took care of its employees but also the society at large by providing help to all the on-trade staffs across the globe who have lost their jobs.
Bacardi is an amazing and a great place to work, because the organization has stood by its Primos in these tough times. And I am so proud to be a part of this culture, this movement, and this organization that we call Bacardi.
Our next winner at rank 19 is Windwire Technologies India Private Limited. Congratulations!
These are difficult times. Empty workspaces, silent meeting rooms, and cafeterias waiting to be filled again. We miss brainstorming together. We miss those coffee breaks, office lunches, team outings, and all the things that make us a great place to work. But the world is changing fast, and we are ready for it. We keep pushing the envelope from our homes, helping you gain competitive advantage through our innovative software solutions.
Windwire focuses on continuous learning and development.
At Windwire, we do not trust.
Windwire is a great place to work and supports work from home.
Believes in ownership and empowerment.
Recognizes your good work.
Offers IT infrastructure to have seamless remote working.
Windwire is a great place to work.
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 Next up at rank 18, we have SAS Institute India Private Limited. Please join me in congratulating the team. Our next awardee for tonight at rank 17 is Enrich Energy Private Limited. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause.
At Enrich Energy, when we started with this work to home concept, post the start of lockdown, we were actually prepared for the business continuity and had planned how we can work from home. That really helped us because we could come to a good level of productivity. We could achieve even continuity of business, and it was done with the safety of being at home. So I would say it was a very fruitful exercise at Enrich. Thank you.
Please give it up for our next winner. At rank 16, we have Chalet Hotels Limited. Congratulations.
Chalet, we are always reinventing new ways to sharpen our customer focus.
At Chalet, we are encouraged to race ahead and progress while seeking opportunities.
At rank 15, we have Litmus 7 Systems Consulting Private Limited. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. Our next awardee for tonight, at rank 14, is Jungli Games. Congratulations to the entire team.
We run the company with a certain set of core values, and I think that's been a catalyst to our success and why we've grown so fast. People who come in want to make sure that they create and facilitate this culture of leading with love and no BS.
I also just love the overall relaxed environment. Like, we're very driven, but there's a very easygoing mood in the company, and I love that.
I came from a much larger company, a much more cushy position. I think all that I'd heard actually was true. There's no micromanagement, there's no top-down culture.
In 2 years in Jungli Games, you can do more, learn more, experience more. In other companies, you put in 10 years.
The culture is the only thing that actually brings me to work every day.
Sky is the limit on how you want to progress your career. And mentors here are super supportive.
Hi, I'm Bharat Bhatia.
This is Joseph Cooper.
Shashank Singh.
Mirek.
Kapil.
And I'm Jungli.
Please join me with a huge round of applause for rank 13, Admiral Technologies Limited. Please give it up for our next winner. At rank 12, we have Vestian Global Workplace Services Private Limited. Congratulations! Moving on to rank 11. We have Pubmatic India Private Limited. Congratulations to their entire team.
This is Deepak Bhaviskar. I'm working with Pubmatic more than 8 years now. For me, Pubmatic is a family where everyone helping each other to stay healthy, positive and motivated. In this pandemic, Pubmatic has shown very strong support to each one of us, which help us to keep ourselves stress-free and positive.
My name is Nishant Tekre. I work as an Associate Director for Program Management in Pubmatic. I've been associated with Pubmatic for almost 7 years now. The best thing that I like about working with Pubmatic is I get the freedom to think about new ideas and initiatives and actually get management support to implement those ideas as well. If I talk about working in these change scenarios because of the coronavirus pandemic, I think Pubmatic has responded to this really well. We already had all the tools and techniques and communication channels in place to be successful in these change scenarios. And I could confidently say that there is almost 0% drop in productivity even if all of us are working from home.
Hi everyone, this is Karishma from the Pune HR team and I've been working with Pubmatic since the last 2.5 years. In my experience, Pubmatic has always been more focused towards work culture and work-life balance, and this has only helped me adjust with this new normal easily. In the last 3 months, I have been able to pursue my personal interest as well as manage work very well. And due to this, I'm feeling really motivated and I feel productive. And I'm really glad that I'm working with Pubmatic. So thank you, Pubmatic.
Congratulations once again to all our winners. There's just so much to learn from you. We now move on to our next trivia question for this evening. In which of the following areas do you think that the difference in employee perception is the highest between the Great Midsize Workplaces 2020 and the rest of the participating midsize workplaces? Option A, management hires people who fit in well here. Option B, people look forward to coming to work here. Option C, we have special and unique benefits here. And option D, you can count on people to cooperate. You have another few seconds to quickly answer this question. And the correct answer is option C. We have special and unique benefits here. At Great Place to Work, we have the opportunity to work with thousands of organizations as they assess and enhance their workplace culture. Especially over the last few months, we've had the good fortune to speak with leaders of some of the best workplaces to be able to understand what they've been doing differently to help their organizations tide through these difficult times. To be able to share with us some of these learnings and some of these takeaways that we've had through our conversations, I'd now like to invite our CEO, Mr. Prasenjit Bhattacharya, to join us for a short conversation. For a discussion around this, we have with us this evening our CEO, Prasenjit Bhattacharya. Prasenjit, thank you for joining us this evening, and we really look forward to understanding from you about what different organizations, best workplaces and otherwise, are doing to be able to work around the current context, especially the challenging current context. But before that, a very common question, but a question on everybody's mind. What do best workplaces do differently?
That's a great question, and thankfully, our research team has been able to distill the answers from hundreds of different things that most organizations do. We have been able to pinpoint precisely which are those areas that enable the best workplaces to be in the coveted list of great workplaces. I would divide it into 3 categories. First and foremost, the leaders at the best workplaces, they are able to create a great deal of credibility for themselves. And they do this by a variety of means. For one, they understand the business model really, really well. For example, Patu Keswani at Lemon Tree Hotel, in the beginning of the COVID crisis, got his leadership team together and created a scenario where even with 40% or 60% demand destruction, they had figured out how to keep the business profitable. And when it actually happened, when they had to reduce cost, etc., they could do that and still protect jobs and run the business profitably. So hugely credible leadership. The second thing that the best workplaces do really, really well, they convey a sense of caring. And this is something which people often forget, particularly in a crisis when everyone gets really worried about results, that you need to be equally focused on how do you care for your people. And caring for people could have variety of different aspects to it. For example, even in the midst of the pandemic, the best workplaces are organizing meetings with not just employees, but with their families. So care is the second most important thing that the best workplaces do. And the third, and not to be forgotten, is that they use the business as a learning opportunity to create career growth for their people. So a lot of people believe that the organization, for it to achieve its business goals, must develop their people. The best workplaces believe that the business is the opportunity provided for people to develop themselves. And the top line and the bottom line would be an outcome of that development. So these are some things that come to my mind, Srimoy.
Thank you for sharing that, Prasenjit. But in all of this, like you mentioned, if this is something that a lot of our best workplaces are doing, then what stops certain others from becoming these best workplaces? What is it that's stopping the other organizations?
Well, in one word, if I were to think about one thing that stops most organization, it will be the perception of how fair is the organization. Fairness plays a very, very important role in ways that we may not even understand. For example, Adobe Corporation 3 years back did not think that there will be any lack of equity in pay between men and women. To their credit, they actually did an internal audit, and to their shock and surprise, they found that there seems to be some inequities. And in 2 years' time, they corrected that, and there is now 100% equity between men and women. Mahindra Rural Housing Finance, for example, has created a call center where any employee who has a grievance can not only log in, but where data is available on how those grievances are dealt with. And in most organizations, perception of fairness or unfairness do not come to the surface simply because there are not enough mechanisms to get this bottom-up communication. And therefore, if you were to ask me what comes in the way, I would say perception of lack of fairness in an organization makes it almost impossible for someone to be a best workplace.
Thank you so much for that. In today's conversation, especially with our audience for this evening, if you were to leave the CEOs or owners of small and mid-sized organizations with 3 tips that they must keep in mind to be able to create great workplaces, what would those be?
Well, in context of the pandemic and what is happening today, and what I see some of the great leaders do really, really well, the 3 things that would come to my mind is, I think you have a choice right now. The choice is you have to cut costs, you have to rationalize, you have to really ensure that your margins are protected, you have cash flow issues. While you go about doing that, one thing that you can't do is you cannot diminish the balance in your trust account with your employees and your stakeholders. And one common mistake that many owners make is that in the process of dealing with a crisis, they dip into the trust bank. And losing trust is far, far bigger challenge than making losses for 1 quarter or 2 quarters, because you can make up financially the losses, but what you lose in trust is very difficult to make up. So therefore, first thing that I would say is don't lose trust with your employees or with your other stakeholders. The second thing which I would say is that this pandemic is a great opportunity for you to really go past your direct reports and engage with each and every employee of yours. And even for a CEO of a 500 people organization, that was the opportunity to get to know all his people well. And in the process, he discovered who are the leaders, because the leaders are not always the ones who are the senior most. They are the ones who have the initiative. And in his words, COVID-19 became the biggest leadership development exercise for his organization.
Thank you. Thank you for those, Prasenjit. My final question for this evening. Given today's situation, it's unprecedented. It's not something that almost any one of us has been prepared to be able to deal with. And leaders have this huge responsibility of not just caring for themselves and their families, but also caring for so many of those others who work in their organizations. We know that at Great Place to Work, we've had the opportunity to speak with hundreds of organizations and leaders who've been doing very different, innovative, and caring things for their people and their organizations as they tide through, as they keep shifting on their business continuity plans. What is it that you've been able to take away from some of these leaders, if you can share those with us?
I think very quickly, in a nutshell, if I have to share, what I found common across many of the great workplaces are the following things. The first is the focus on purpose. The crisis became another opportunity for leaders to reinforce the purpose. And it could be very different for different people. For example, when the CEO of Tesco talks to his employees, and Tesco serves so many different countries, and you know it's largely a food retail. So therefore, his message is, we have to feed the people of these countries. So the people of these countries depend on us to feed them. And therefore, out of India, their business has increased 50% because a lot of responsibility globally is coming to him. The example that I'm going to give, when everybody, we're talking about reducing salaries, they increased salaries of shop floor workmen by 35%. And people express the mission in different ways. So Rajinder Gupta, the founder, says in very simple Hindi, he says, "Jab tak mere ghar pe roti hai, tere ghar pe roti rahe." So what means, till such time I have bread at home, you are not going to go hungry. So focus on the purpose, because everybody is going to be energized. They are not going to do work less, they're going to put in more work. But as you focus on the purpose, you realize that unfortunately, unlike the crisis that you have faced in the past, this is a crisis where solutions are not all with you. So therefore, increasingly, all your employees and people at different levels in the hierarchy, the frontline employees are coming back. A DTDC overnight transformed itself from a courier company to somebody who is now very active in hyperlocal, who is delivering food items, essential items. So it is no longer a courier company. Their volumes in June has gone up by 40%. It's unbelievable. From zero revenue, 0 rupee revenue in the month of April, they have bounced back because they reinvented themselves, not because of the CEO or the chairman, but because they have a means of getting feedback and suggestions from people down the line. So therefore, as you move people, this is a great opportunity to move people from what I call as passive to active, because this is the opportunity which is available for you to get your young people to collaborate. And many of the best workplaces, of course, we know that Intuit already has something called as the Horizon Innovation Program. They are aggressively funding ideas of their employees, right? But as you move people from passive to active, the last thought that I would leave is it produces also quite a bit of stress. And therefore, as a leader, how do you help your people deal with those wellness issues? That becomes really, really important for you as well, because this is the time when you need to support your people who are working in very, very difficult situations. And that is where when a Lemon Tree senior management, top 1,000 people, decides to take a 65% cut in salary, but protect the jobs of the other 7,000 people, it sends a very, very positive message to everyone. And it's happening, by the way, the leaders who are doing it, they're all doing it because they have real-time feedback. And we ourselves are working with about 100 organizations in equipping, enabling the CEOs and leaders to really deal with the situation in real time. Today we have the technology to make it happen.
Thank you so much, Prasenjit. Thank you for sharing those words. Thank you for sharing with us what you've been able to hear and learn from so many other leaders.
Thank you for inviting me, and it was a pleasure to share the research that our team has done, and you have been a part of that research, Srimoyee, and all the viewers who are watching this. I'm sure you would love to access the entire research report, including what we have figured out for leaders, and we have spoken to 250 plus leaders. And if you have time, I would love to take questions from the audience.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'd love for you to be able to interact with our audience this evening as well. So if anyone has any questions, please do leave them for us in the chat box and we will respond to them. We have so many interesting questions from our audience this evening, Prasenjit. But to begin with, let's start with this one. What do you think will be the implications of COVID-19 on workplace culture?
Well, I think even before workplace cultures, the implications on business is going to be very profound. You will find that in many cases, business models will change. People will question that things like whether you cannot acquire customers using technology. In many cases, costs will go down. Lemon Tree Hotel is one of the best run hotels in terms of operational efficiency. And their CEO estimates that operating margin will improve by 10% because they simply realize that productivity and other measures can actually improve thanks to the current crisis. From the point of view of culture, there is something very interesting that's going to happen. The best workplaces and 50 companies which are in the list of great mid-sized companies. They have used, by and large, COVID-19 as an opportunity to build trust. So they have, in many cases, some of them have not done well in businesses. Sometimes they even made losses in one quarter, but they have replenished and increased their balance in their trust account. What many organizations don't realize is that when people will remember what you do today for a very long time, and therefore if whatever you have done has reduced trust, there is a price to pay for it. And I call it the price of trust deficit. You may wonder why your cost structure is 5% more than somebody who is a best workplace. That's because not just your employees, your suppliers and stakeholders will remember. So I think fundamentally, what this crisis does is reinforces how important trust is for organizations and workplace culture. In addition to that, when you have dispersed teams and people working from home, the person that becomes most important, not the CEO, but is the line manager. So this reinforces more than ever the role of the line manager who is managing maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 people under him or her who are dispersed, who are working from home. And the moment you say that somebody is working from home, what that means is that it's no longer the individual who is the unit that you have to look at. You have to also understand that he is part of a unit, the family. So therefore, we always used to say that great places consider themselves as a family. Now they have to consider themselves as an extended family, because it is not just the employee, but also the family members of the employee whom they will have to take into account. So these are some of the changes which are going to happen. And if you have to deal with these changes, your feedback will have to be in real time.
Interesting. A very related question that we've received, Prasenjit, is around any advice that you'd have for employees as they too navigate around this new change and new normal.
Yeah, post-COVID, and I'm going to address my advice to some of my young colleagues, because some of us, my vintage, have had the good fortune of facing multiple crises. And whenever we are in the midst of a crisis, we always overestimate the impact of that crisis, and we underestimate what's going to happen in future. So for my young colleagues, I would simply say this, that this is a crisis which has meant that many of our colleagues will have to now ensure that their skills are slightly ahead of their compensation. Never ever allow your compensation to go ahead of your skills or your market value. And that's one big lesson. And the second big lesson that we have is how do we move from passive to active? What do I mean by that? Right from school to college, we really didn't decide anything much for ourselves, because the course curriculum in the college was already decided, it was given to us. Our professor or teacher was given to us. We had to really, sometimes even the way we solve a problem was something that the professor has told us, and some other way of doing that was frowned upon. And all of a sudden, today we are in a situation where it doesn't matter whether you have 30 years or 40 years of experience, you are back to square one, because you don't have a course curriculum which is laid down, and we are all figuring it out. And it's interesting that the best workplaces in the last 3 months have spent maximum time experimenting and doing things to figure it out, right? So therefore, that is a big stress on the current generation, particularly on younger people, because look at it this way. In our own employee survey, we have a statement that says management makes expectations clear. That's a passive statement. And that's not going to work in future. In fact, you have to ask yourself, what effort do I take? I take effort to make expectations clear. So how do I move from being a recipient of employee engagement to somebody who co-creates my own destiny? And one of the biggest, I'll probably talk about 2 or 3 things that you can do. The first and foremost thing you can do is keep the right company. What do I mean by that? Even now amongst your friends, you will see that there are some of your friends who are depressed, who are trying to figure out what to do. And there are some people who are trying out 10 new things, whether it is a new course or a new technology or simply some creative idea. I call them digital native architects. Coincidentally, it also stands for DNA. So your DNA or a digital native architect is somebody who is continuously learning. So therefore, if you have your skills have to be ahead of your compensation, you don't have an option, you have to continuously learn. And if you have to do that and you are moving from passive to active, you have to also take care of your health and your relationships. And all of that, unfortunately, is going to put stress on you more than the previous generation. So therefore, from an organization's perspective, employee wellness will become really, really important. We have simply no clue in a country like India, where we do not have social security, where we do not have guaranteed employment, where we do not have great quality health, how important wellness is going to become. So therefore, the last thing that I'm going to leave young people with is discover what really makes you move. What is your purpose? And, I have a colleague of mine and she is one of my heroes. And for her, diversity and inclusion is a life's purpose. And every now and then I have seen her struggle and get into a situation where she doesn't have an experience, but she has the energy and the resilience to keep going because she has a higher purpose. If you don't have that higher purpose, you simply don't have the energy and the resilience. Shriman?
Thank you so much, Prasenjit, for that. We'll definitely remember that as we go forward. You were in the in our first question when you were speaking about the implications of COVID-19 on workplace culture. You had mentioned the importance or the increasing importance of the role of the line manager. We actually have a related question with that. Interestingly, we've been asked, what role does an inspiring manager have in creating a great workplace?
In the last 2 years, our sister company, Great Manager Institute, has studied 11,000 managers, and they have taken feedback of their teams. And along with Forbes magazine, they recognized the 100 best people managers in India. And there are 3 things that stand out about these managers. First and foremost, even before you inspire your people, you have to know how to connect with your people. Do you know your people? I mean, at this point in time, if you are inspiring managers, I expect that you know that for one of your team members, her parents are in another city and she has a doubt in her mind whether she should stay in this city or move to her parents. Somebody's mother is not well. Somebody has a big challenge in terms of managing work from a one hall kitchen kind of workspace. So how are you connecting with your people at this point in time? And the second thing that great managers do is, how do you help them to develop? I was surprised when even in my own organization, I was having a meeting with a set of my colleagues. And I asked them, what are the 3 things that you need to get a promotion? I mean, they knew about role expectations, competencies, and all of that, but they had no clue that what are the 3 things that I need for my next promotion. So I said, you actually mean to say you bought a product without understanding the features of the product? It's like my father advising me 35 years back that, beta, buy an HMV watch. I had no clue what that HMV watch has, but that's what I was advised and I bought it, right? Now, it's very, very important, right, that you actually have a plan to develop your people and you support their development, because COVID-19 has told us nothing matters more than employee development, right? And it is at that point in time that you become an inspiring manager. You can connect that employee with a higher purpose, you can empower him, and you can celebrate the achievement of that particular employee. And that's when inspiration really works. Don't expect a line manager to come and inspire people if he doesn't know how to connect and how to develop his own people. Srimoy?
Interesting. Our final question that we're going to be able to take this evening, though, it's very relevant to even how we're doing this, the awards evening this evening as well, right, from our homes. One of our viewers has shared a question with us asking us, do you think, Prasenjit, work from home is a permanent solution?
Well, who was it? I think Moti from SAS was saying that the future is hybrid. At this point in time, it is, I think, very tempting to say that work from home is the permanent solution. And I do think that the battle between digital and physical is over. Digital has won, and let's accept it. But that doesn't mean that the future is always work from home. I think it's going to be hybrid. If people prefer working from home, for example, I now prefer working from home because I am more efficient, more productive. I actually save time. In that case, organizations will have to help those people to set up the infrastructure, right? And therefore, you save a lot of money in terms of not necessarily catering to 100% seating capacity that you need to earlier, but then you must help your employee with the right infrastructure at home. In fact, it's not even working from home, it is remote working. What that means is that previously somebody had to come from Lucknow, Varanasi, Nagpur to a big city like Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi to work. Now he's not going to come, or he doesn't, or she doesn't need to come. You can be in whichever is your hometown, probably with a better quality of life and less pollution, and still work from remotely, right? However, I think any kind of assumption that workspaces are not going to be there and everybody is going to work from home is far-fetched. That's not going to happen. You will have a hybrid model where probably people will come for some days to office but may have the option of working from home on some other days. Srimoy?
Thank you so much, Prasenjit. Unfortunately, this evening, that was our last question that we were going to be able to take. Thank you very much for your time and for answering.
I must say there are some things which you can't do working from home, but you can make an attempt. So, Srimoy, before we log off, so can you give me a high five, please? Come on. Here you are. Yes, that's it. So we can have lunch together with our people. We can give high five to each other. We can introduce our colleagues to our pets. And of course to our family members. And it's amazing that nobody has come into my room so far, but all of that is possible thanks to technology, and you can do a lot of things even from home. Thank you, Srimoy.
Thank you, Prasenjit. And now we move on to our last trivia question for this evening.
Our research reveals that in great mid-sized workplaces, there is very little difference in the levels of engagement across job roles. In the rest of the mid-sized workplaces, which of the following areas of employee perception will have the maximum difference between levels, with senior management reporting a much more positive experience than the rest of the workplaces? Option A, politicking and backstabbing. Option B, candid communication. Option C, appreciation for good work. Option D, fair rewards. And the correct answer is option A, politicking and backstabbing. Moving on to our last segment of awards for this evening. Revealing ranks 10 to 1 of India's Great Midsize Workplaces 2020. Rank 10, ladies and gentlemen. Please join me in giving a huge round of applause to Vuram.
Hi, it's a great honor and privilege to be receiving this recognition from the Great Place to Work Institute. We're honored to be among the top 50 best companies to work for in India. First, I'd like to congratulate all the other companies who have participated in this initiative, as well as being recognized as the top 50. You inspire us, you motivate us, we learn a lot from you. You create a great workplace, creating fantastic workforce, thereby contributing to the prosperity of the nation and our economic development. So congratulations to all of you. I want to thank the team at the Great Place to Work, Prosanjit and his entire team. Each year, the number of companies that apply for this recognition increases. They have the same team and they do a fantastic job of being unbiased, neutral and fair, and recognize the best in the industry. So thank you to the Great Place to Work Institute. And a big congratulations to every single person at Vuram. It is because of each of our work, each of our ideas that we poured in, the passion that we poured in and day out, that has helped us achieve this recognition. Obviously, there's a lot more to go, a lot more to do, a lot more to achieve. And with our continued passion, I'm sure we can achieve our dream of being the happiest and the best nourishing workplace. I hope everybody is safe, take care, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you, and thanks to the Great Place to Work Institute again. Thank you.
Next up, at rank 9, we have Seneca Global IT Services Private Limited. Please join me in congratulating the team.
Seneca Global's only asset, our highly talented people, have many other options. Why should they choose us? Why should they stay with us? These are the questions we constantly ask ourselves. Great Place to Work gives us a framework to get answers to those questions from our own associates. Seneca Global strongly believes that highly satisfied and motivated associates are essential to keep all the stakeholders happy, including the customers. And that is the only way one can build a business that lasts.
At rank 8, we have Gera Developments Private Limited. Congratulations to the team.
We are delighted to be recognized as a great place to work one more time. I think the Great Place to Work recognition is by far amongst the more important ones because it really truly is the voice of the team, and it's a score of what they think about their own organization. So I think that this is really important. Thank you very much, Great Places to Work team, for this recognition, and it will only spur us further to outdo even more. Thank you once again.
Our next winner at rank 7 is Dream Sports. Please give them a huge round of applause. Our next awardee for tonight, Burns & McDonnell Engineering India Private Limited, is at rank 6. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. Hopefully you all are staying safe and healthy during these very unique times. Now, creating and maintaining a great workplace has always been a key emphasis for us at Burns & McDonnell India. And being recognized again by the Great Place to Work organization is such a fantastic accomplishment. For us, it all starts with what we call our MAC culture principles. At the core of these principles is the fact that we are all employee owners. As employee owners, we have a vested interest in making our company a great place to work and making each and every person successful, as it directly translates to the overall employee owner's success. Now, thank you to Great Place to Work organization for your focus on making India a great place to work for all. The findings that you guys provide, these assessments, have really helped our team evaluate and realign our company's initiatives to meet and hopefully exceed our employee owners' expectations. Congratulations, Burns & McDonnell India employee owners, on this remarkable recognition for the 4th consecutive year. Truly an amazing accomplishment.
Congratulations once again to all our winners so far. And now it's time for the top 5 great mid-sized workplaces 2020. At rank 5, we have Modi Care Limited, an organization that has created unique practices for leadership development, which include executive coaching, cognitive workshops and feedback, in addition to skill and product-based training. Please put your hands together for them.
My organization is based on a concept of sameness, which is intrinsic to a Greek word called miraki, which means whatever you do with love and creativity. For me, my people come first, followed by the company, followed by the organization. For us, doing things out of the ordinary is very important, and for us, doing things differently is also very important. We believe in love, we believe in care, and we believe that giving back to our people and giving back to our community is very, very important. This is the reason why I feel that our organization is a great place to work.
At rank 4, we have Feedback Energy Distribution Company Limited. Teamwork and following of SOP are in the DNA of this organization. Here, leadership is always willing to not only lend a helping hand, but also a considerate ear. Congratulations to the entire team.
Since we started our operations in FEDCO, we believe that employee engagement is a journey and not a destination, and all the systems and processes that we've evolved are centered around accountability and transparency, which gives the employee some kind of a security in terms of their work environment and their job trajectory. To give the employee a political environment where they can enjoy their work has been the tone from the top and the objective of our endeavor. So once again, a big thanks to GPTW for recognizing that part. Thank you.
Our next awardee at rank 3 is Brigade Hospitality Services Limited. The organization has unique ways of inspiring, recognizing and reinforcing role model behaviors such as honesty. They do this by recognizing their employees with special awards whenever they demonstrate a core value. Congratulations!
We are delighted to be acknowledged as a great place to work for the 2nd year running. It is our people that make us a great place to work, and we are truly, truly grateful for their commitment and their support in taking Brigade Hospitality to higher levels. Thank you, Great Place to Work Institute, for bestowing this honor on us yet again. Thank you also for sensitizing us to areas where we need to further improve when it comes to engaging with our people. We assure you that it will be a continuous process for us in coming years to learn and keep improving. Thank you once again.
At rank 2, we have Mahindra Excello. At Excello, they believe in supporting their retiring employees by organizing sessions on financial planning along with part-time mentoring assignments, which help these employees slowly transition into retirement. Please give them a huge round of applause.
Great Place to Work culture creates magic and has a multiplier effect. We have experienced this in our business results.
customer delight, and stakeholder engagement. Our culture, built on trust and transparency, helps us to consistently nurture our employees first philosophy. We are happy to be a part of this journey.
And the number one great mid-size organization in the country is SAS Research and Development India Private Limited, a company that lays emphasis on inculcating a culture of innovation and learning, offers excellent learning and development opportunities to its employees, and showcases employees' success stories with pride.
Congratulations to the entire SAS Research and Development India team for our 4th consecutive year amongst India's best mid-sized workplaces. We are wholeheartedly committed to the journey of evolving our culture, our very essence, to deliver best experiences for customers and colleagues alike. Our resolve to be players of the infinite game, prioritizing long-term sustainability over short-term gains, is the reason we are a great workplace. Our CEO's belief, if you treat employees as if they make a difference, they will make a difference, has paid rich dividends. We are the leaders in business analytics and confident in our vision to transform a world of data into a world of intelligence. Thank you.
Go.
Congratulations to all the organizations who featured in India's Great Mid-Size Workplaces 2020. We will now announce our winners from the trivia this evening. Our winners are, for Trivia 1, from Think Palm Technologies, Manoj KP. From Modicare Limited, Anup Arora. From Gera Developments Private Limited, Mahendra Rao. Congratulations. Our winners for Trivia 2 are, from Winwire, Shikha Gupta. From SAS India, Srinivas Rao. From SAS Research and Development India, Prasad Kulkarni. And our winners for Trivia 3 are, from Seva Rural, Jaymeet Rawal. From SAS Research and Development India, Rohan Kaur. And from the Moria Group, Megha Patil. For our 4th trivia, we have only one winner. So huge congratulations from Brigade Hospitality Services Limited to Charu Sheela. Congratulations to all our trivia winners. All the winners will receive an interesting pack of 8 robot interviews from our partners, Evumi. We will connect you with the Evumi team separately. As this evening comes to an end, we would like to take a few minutes to thank everyone who made this evening possible. Beginning, of course, with all our viewers who've been so engaged and so interactive. You've made the evening enjoyable for everyone. We'd like to thank the 1,000+ organizations who participated in the Great Place to Work Study 2020. We are humbled to be your partner of choice. A big thank you to the leaders of some of the best workplaces for taking time out and sharing such interesting insights with us. Our production partner, Fountainhead, thank you for putting this evening together with us. Our platform partner, Dreamcast, for making this transition to digital so seamless. Thank you to our trivia partner, Evumi, and to our media partner, BW Business World. Thank you for the years of partnership. Finally, we'd like to thank the Great Place to Work team, every greater who makes Great Place to Work what it is. We will close this evening out by revealing our Wall of Fame and our research report on India's great mid-sized workplaces. Good night, everyone. I'm your host, Srimoy, signing off for the evening. We wish you good health and safety.